Scorpio, happy solar returns. This is your November 2024 soul story. If you have a sun, rising or moon in the sign, this is your reading, and it's Romy here. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. We're going to open up this month with Wheel of Fortune. Okay, I think this is an incredibly dynamic season. Perspective will be everything. There's going to be more than a few surprises. And, you know, perhaps even controversy in terms of how this wheel brings about change. Remember, controversy always gets fueled and lit further with agenda. We have the new moon in your sign opening up on the 1st of the month. And I think it's giving you an opportunity to have a new perspective and a fresh consideration with regards to what next. You know, you are really going through a period where so much of what you thought you knew, perhaps what you had placed your trust or belief in, is changing. Outcomes maybe not as expected. And what I do see for you through the course of this month is an absolutely unapologetic bravery. Regardless of how unstable things may feel, regardless of how much fear or anxiety still kind of pervades the energy around you, it is enabling you to reach further, because if sort of all bets are off a little bit, then it in a way helps you to contemplate and seize opportunities when they come up in a way that perhaps you never would have previously, right? So as you set your new intentions for the moon coming through in your sign at 9 degrees, I think that there is this realization of, like, you know, it's impossible to play safe in a world that's constantly uprooting you because it wants to move you, it's trying to change you. So there's this degree of sort of embracing that flux and that contrast. Now, we have Mercury shifting in Sagittarius on the 2nd, so conversation gets very direct, at times quite blunt, but maybe that's what's needed, you know, we just have to call it as we see it. On the 3rd, we've got the asteroid goddess Juno moving into your sign, Scorpio, and here we are actually creating some unbreakable bonds, and I think it's going to be important as you look around you and, you know, work to release hesitation and replace it with action, because as that Wheel of Fortune comes in, you're going to want to take advantage of the things that it's bringing in for you. There's a new level of understanding as well that's coming through. We've got the 10 of Wands. Now, I want to call out on the 3rd, when Juno shifts into your sign, we also have Mars opposite Pluto, Venus opposite Jupiter. There is a tenseness, there is an activation here. You might feel a little bit under pressure. You may feel like there's still a bit of a slog, something that is ahead of you that still feels quite monumental. As you feel into the distance, and I think, you know, actually that word distance is interesting, because what's going to come up in November is this feeling for you that you are at a distance in some way, shape or form. Perhaps a distance from who you used to be, from where you used to be, from someone or something. But remember, the 10 is coming to a point of completion. The Wheel of Fortune is also a 10. You know, we've got this number sort of signifying, look, we're almost there. You know, there's an imminent change coming. And with that, there's a realization that, you know, it's like the last mile, and just conserving energy feels important as well through the course of November for you. So don't early on, even though you may feel that way, extend yourself too far or put too much out there, because it does feel that, you know, you're going to want to have a little bit more in the tank for later in the month, perhaps as well when these new opportunities are coming up and things are coming in, that you're going to say, yes, I need to be a part of that, I need to participate in this in some way. So, you know, that first few days in November, quite electric, quite intense, quite remarkable actually, in terms of what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what's unfolding for you. This is a month where I suppose what we want is you to have the nerve, so that you are, you know, you're not impacted by the praise, you're not impacted by the criticism, because you know what, in this solar returns, as you step out with this new sense of self, you know, you've really just become clearly aligned with who you are. And I think that matters so that you can kind of stand strong in the winds of change that are coming in around you. Now, of course, we're going to have 11/11, and on the same day, Venus moves into Capricorn, bringing us a really beautiful, deliberate, intentional, very determined energy. And I love this Ace of Coins for you. You see, the 10 is worth it. You know, this is the beginning, this is the seeding, this is the we start again, or we start from this point. And there can be something deeply valuable in that. There can be an opportunity here to do it with more love, with more care, with more intention, with more belief. You know, you're holding that coin in a gentle, compassionate way. And I think there is this new level of understanding that's coming through for you in November with this, you know, acts of kindness towards yourself and others. You know, the courage that you need to have isn't always readily available, right? But we're, 44 weeks in to 2024. You know, you've seen a lot, you have been through a lot. And in these, you know, the remainder of the time that we have to kind of wrap this year up, you know, there are things that you still want to set into motion. That's why I'm saying it's about releasing hesitation and allowing it to be replaced with action. And there will be things, you know, I said October was about this sort of compelling energy. It continues through the month of November. It's a very charged experience this month. 11/11 from a manifesting perspective is a powerful opportunity for you to draw towards you what you need, and actually to recognize what you already have within you. Please do check out over on my website, romywiser.com. You're going to find some beautiful 11/11 activations to help support you with this. Now, the very next day, Saturn also stations direct in Pisces. You've learned some tough lessons as he's been through that backspin, but now there's an awful lot of karmic clearance. There's movement and, you know, some results that perhaps have been held back now opening up. Some interesting conversations starting to take place actually as well around that time. I think you're starting to believe in what is going to be possible now. There's more information, there's more insight, there's more clarity. And I think with that, there's a very strong directed pull to where, you know, you're supposed to be or what you're supposed to be doing. So there's something about knowing your position or feeling more clear in your position with regards to things, okay? Remember, whenever these planets station direct, there's that sort of shift in your equilibrium. Now there's already such a powerful flux going on. You're already observing in the collective this powerful wave that feels like it's more significant than perhaps what you've ever leaned into in your own lifetime, or certainly for some time. So the reminder, of course, is, you know, what does it take to have that sanctuary within me, to hold that space, and to keep communicating, to keep talking, to keep expressing yourself, so that you don't shut down, you don't avoid. You know, that Daughter of Swords says that there's something important to say, and there's messages and news that are coming as a result of Saturn stationing direct that I think are going to put you much more in the picture with things. Now this, of course, is right ahead of the full moon coming in Taurus at 24 degrees on the 15th. And, you know, I think this opportunity for you with that 7th house being activated is to really address again, it's like perception. Perhaps it's perceptions in relationships, I think, that's also going to come to light for you. You've got the 6 of Wands here. Recognition, announcement, something coming out that feels necessary to help clear or be cathartic with regards to specific relationships. Remember, we're always looking at the shadow aspect of self when we work with the 7th house. It's like a mirror. So there's something perhaps that's being revealed about yourself that's also helpful in enabling you to step out. And, you know, for whatever reason where you have held yourself back, there's an opportunity through the course of this month, because so much is changing, and you with it through this solar returns, more so than ever before, you know. And like I said, what you thought you knew is changing and being uprooted so much that this is the month where unapologetic bravery helps you to reach further than you ever have before. There's a success here, there's a victory here. It's hard won, it's hard fought. There's something that's taken a lot from you, emotionally, physically, energetically, but you turn a corner, and there's something that comes in here that enables you to celebrate and gives you that sort of impetus for a shift, particularly as we move into Sagittarius season, as we see her with the bow there. So that's going to be from the 21st, but I feel like there's something symbolic about that full moon in Taurus coming through. Again, a powerful manifesting experience to help you ground and actualize something. And remember what I talked about with this sort of feeling of unbreakable bonds, and then significant information coming through that's going to help with the idea, the inspiration, the reset, the new path that's showing up for you in quite a significant way. Of course, we've talked about it. The 19th sees Pluto moving out of Capricorn into Aquarius for this next long haul. You are releasing on a level that perhaps you can't even truly comprehend. It's been, you know, working through that third house energy for you, challenging the way that you think, the way that you speak, the way that you communicate, the plans that you've been trying to make in the short term to just bridge to get from where you are to where you want to be. It's impacted on siblings, your community, your neighbors, you know, so much deeper though in terms of what it's asked for you in terms of transformation. The Three of Coins, look, we are building and creating this new pathway, and you've got help and support here. The support system that, whether you're aware of or not, starts to reveal itself and show up for you is really beautiful, because again, I think it helps you to see or have perspective of something in a new way. You're not doing it alone. Ten of Wands tells me that there's an element of you just feeling like you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders, and that there's nobody who understands, or nobody who's around you, or nobody who gets it. It's far from the truth of it. So if that's something that you lean into through the course of November, you will start to see, particularly from that full moon onwards, the difference that just like-minded or, you know, understanding, resonant energy, you know, can do for your state of, you know, your mindset, you know, just the way that you're seeing things or how you're looking at things around you. Okay. Sun in Sagittarius from the 21st, and we're going to have a Mercury retrograde arriving this month. You know, the shadow will begin from the 7th, so, you know, keep that in mind. But we have this shift with the retrograde from the 25th onwards, and, you know, we're also going to welcome a second new moon in Sagittarius on the 30th. So 2 new moons in November, just really amplifying and signifying the power of this kind of reset and you know, intention towards what next. And even if you're sort of feeling or leaning into the sense of like, I don't know what's next, I think that, you know, again, this is a reminder to sort of be close to home with yourself, quiet counsel with yourself, not impacted, not influenced, not you know, taking on too much of the you know, the praise or the critic. It's just the standing strong in this sense of self, right? That's what's going to help you know what next for you. Mercury retrograde is going to want you to return to something, but you're going to make it better. That Ace of Coins, Three of Coins tells me you're going to make it better. There's an improvement on the horizon for you in regards to this. We also have Pallas Athena, asteroid goddess, shifting into Capricorn. I really like this. I think Venus in Cap, Pallas in Cap, you know, this is an energy that says we've got to make a new plan, and the new plan is going to bring us a better balance. Yeah, it's going to improve things because we are determined and we have goals and we're focused, and, you know, we want to make impact and we want to leave legacy. And so, you know, you can call on these asteroid energies wherever you're at right now, you know, in terms of what you're thinking about and what you're trying to facilitate, and allow them to kind of step in and help and support you, work with them for your rituals. You can check out my goddess reports over on the website if you want to see where these asteroid goddess sit in your own natal chart. The other thing, of course, Mars in Leo, shadow energy, it's going to be going retrograde in December. That's going to be a biggie for us over the next few weeks. And so, you know, we might feel our drive is somewhat thwarted, or we just feel we need to slow down with something, we need to return to something, you know, before we're able to kind of really improve upon it. But there is definitely, through the course of November, this opportunity to take away the hesitation, start with some deliberate intentional action. If you need to then revisit through Mercury and Mars retrograde, so be it. That's okay. It's not going to stunt anything to the point that it stops. It's just going to maybe throw up some red flags or things that need to be addressed before you get to fully kind of be free and see that green light coming through, okay? Of course, I think it can cause some disruption or some challenge or opposition with regards you know, relationships, and you know how, especially you know how power or people that want to be seen, want to be recognized in a certain way. But in the retrograde, there's something about that coming to light, so you can see it and you can call it quite clearly. You're incredibly discerning, and you have that spiritual discernment working in your favor through the course of November. And I feel you're actually in a really in a place that you're better than you think you are, okay? I want to say that you're in a place where you're better where you think you are. Now, if you're new to the channel, our last 3 cards we look at in the extended reading, okay, Scorpio, I talk for another 30 minutes or so. We'll look at a relationship and also a personal question for you to dive deeper into the month ahead. You can find the link in the comment and description box underneath. I'm going to go ahead and just clarify these cards and see the direction that we're going to be taking this for you for the month ahead. Now, my new journal is coming out in November, Life Soul Vision. It's a really beautiful soul companion for you, especially right now with so much going on. It's just like return to the practices, you know, go back to the foundations, remind yourself of all of the things that you have, what you've experienced, you know, what you're trying to lean into and learn about. It's just going to be a beautiful accompaniment to your diaries and your planners, and it's like the third in the trilogy of all of my sacred titles, my deck and my books. So please take a moment to check it out on the website. There'll be some special offers that are out just now, limited edition things that are still available, so please take a moment to see all about it. Now, what do we have here? King of Swords and the Hierophant. Actually really like that with the Ace of Coins. We've got Justice, Ace of Swords. Right, I really like that for you. There's a tremendous amount of clarification with something. Page of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. Okay, what about this 3? What do we have here? 2 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles. Okay. Alright, let's pull a couple of oracles for you and just see what else we have coming up for this month of November, Scorpio. Okay. Alchemize the 8. Energy conversations. Yes. Soothe your soul. There's that inner sanctuary. Earth, medicine and magic cast their spells. Oh, there you go. There's our rainbow dragon and the wild rose for our 1111. Beautiful. And sacred soul union. Okay. Right. One more oracle card for Scorpio for the month of November. Okay, we've got stepping stones. Take the next step, simplicity, focus. Feels like that 3 of coins, doesn't it? Listen, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you'll come onto the extended to continue this conversation. Have a beautiful solar returns. It's all about perspective, unapologetic bravery. Remember, that's for you this month. You take good care. I will see you again next time. Bye for now.